Hi folks, so this is my next Decan video and we're talking here about the Lord of Strength, the Nine of Wands. And I think it's very aptly named because I've been wondering about whether to film this video. I've been wondering about what to share in this video because it became quite personal. It is my birth card and it is a difficult card. It really, really is. When you start to deep dive into these cards, you can throw up all sorts of challenges, shall we say. And it has been a challenge to look at some of the aspects of this card that I quite honestly bury. And I think maybe burying these things is just a survival technique. It's a way of being able to carry on day to day without sinking into depression, really. I found it quite depressing, I'm going to be honest. It is a card about meeting challenges and about strength. It's about inner strength, and that can be mental strength, physical strength, all sorts of strength. On a personal level, I've had to find a lot of inner strength and of physical strength during my long life. I've been on this earth for quite a few years, and with it came a lot of challenges. It's about meeting those challenges and being adaptable, really, being elastic, really, like the bow and arrow that Sagittarian centaur is associated with, to have the strength to actually keep on target, to keep going, even when circumstances try to hold you back. You still have to try and go forward. And I think that's quite a metaphor for the way that my life has been. I'm not going to go into detail, so don't worry, this isn't going to be too depressing. I think the challenge comes because Sagittarius is a fire sign, and I love the sun. The sun is my magnet. I just gravitate towards the sun. So this time of year, it's really difficult. It's dark, it's dim, it's cold. It's not my favourite time of year. It really isn't. And because it's overshadowed by the moon energy, this is where we go into those shadows ourselves. I can see that the sun is still above the moon, but it is in an eclipse. So the normal optimistic Jupiter side of Sagittarius is being overshadowed a little bit, I think, this time of year, and I think that is very, very evident from the cards. So we've got a lot of moon energy. The High Priestess is associated with the moon. The Sephira, the Nine of Wands, or the Nines, all the nines actually are associated with Yesod, which is actually ruled by the moon. And as we know, the moon goes through cycles and changes. So I think that's where the adaptability comes in, because the moon is constantly changing. Then I think we have to constantly change as well, adapt, and be able to face life's challenges by adapting to them and not being drowned out by them, if you like, with all that water. Because of having to find this inner strength, we become resilient. We've built this strength based on our experiences. And these experiences obviously cut to our emotions. And so it's up to us really to blend those strong emotions with reason, to reason them out, and to not accept, but sort of make them part of your own arsenal, if you like, so that you can move forward stronger because of them, because you've learnt to adapt to those experiences, integrate them and move forward. And that just, I think, is the lesson of the Nine of Wands in my experience. So, blending all aspects of life like Temperance does, just blending them together to make us stronger. It has tempered us. Like I said in the last Decan video, this is about Sagittarian being tempered and therefore coming out a lot stronger. I mean, Temperance actually demands that balance between light and shadow, the sun and the moon. And because it's sun and moon, so we have fire and water, well, that can create steam. Now, does that mean we talk a lot of hot air? Well, yes, sometimes. The shame about it is it can become, because steam can actually become wasted energy. You can use steam. I mean, it's used to, like in steam engines, you know, it can be used to push you forward, but also it can be that hot air, that wasted energy that just dissipates and goes nowhere. So it's eclipse in the sun, which means the moon has the dominance in this card. It is dominating the way we're thinking and behaving. Also, because this sun is above this moon, it's actually serving to illuminate our shadow self. It's showing us what we don't want to look at. And here, this gap, there's a gap here between these two ones that he looks like he's defending. But is he, or is that an exit strategy? Is that a get out clause, you know? I can always escape through here if I need to. If I don't want to look too closely at these challenges, I can just run back through there, put my stick in between those, and I'm safe. Maybe, I don't know. Ian Daniels in Phantasmagoria says it's about healing old wounds and learning from the past, which I tend to agree with. And it's bringing into harmony the conscious and the unconscious. And this will give us inner strength, an unshakable resolve, an ability to replenish our energy. So he is taking a pause there and he's just gathering strength before that final push. So to me, the message of the Nine of Wands is perseverance. The High Priestess says, listen, your voice will guide you, but you've got to release yourself first. Release yourself from the past hurts. Release yourself from the wounds that you've taken on. The card that I wanted to show from the deck that I wanted to show in relation to the Nine of Wands is this one from the Mary L Tarot, and this is the card that really gives me inner strength. And I think you can probably see why. That, to me, is what I needed to work with in order to delve deep into these inner wounds and outer wounds, the physical wounds I have, the mental and emotional wounds that I have and have collected over the years, you know, that have now become part of me. And the fact that I'm stronger for it. Here's my fire. I'm still holding that fire in my hand. I'm still here. I'm still fighting. And I'm strong. I am strong. And I needed that. Because if I focus too much on this, then it's just focusing too much on those wounds. And for me, it's all about gaining strength from the past and not letting it define me at all, but allowing me to grow into the strong person that I did become and have become and I am. And the card that I drew today, really strange, all these synchronicities, but I've been using the Sacred Web Tarot. I have filmed a walkthrough of this deck, but I haven't actually edited it yet and put it up, but I will in the next few days. But the card that I drew from it was this one here. So this is the Nine of Swords, actually, the Nine of Air. And it reminded me so much of this card here. And in the book for this one, I'll just read what it says. I think this is beautiful. Do you know how beautiful you are? Sometimes you can't see how your independent spirit and curiosity are here to lead you into a deeper understanding of what you are being called to pursue. And Sagittarians, of course, are really known for their independence. Instead, you find yourself stranded upon the precipice of dread, overcome by the instability of anxiety and distress. Within these moments of difficulty, it is so easy to lose sight of the magic that you bring. But it is precisely your fearless soul and your inquisitive mind that make you so special? Can you stop resisting that wise voice within that speaks to you of a love so comprehensive that there is no room for suffering? Try looking at the world through the lens of your third eye, that place of intuition which can see directly into the absolute truth of your heart. From this perspective, you can begin to recognize that you are perfect just as you are. So even though it's an air card, it is still a 9. And I just thought that was really interesting that we've still got this feline energy. But here, instead of being defensive, be curious. And I thought that was so much good advice, really good advice for what is a difficult card. And it inspired, I don't know if anybody else does this, but it actually inspired me to, in my journal, I do journal, yes, in my journal, to actually make a little painting of a cat going forward. It's not brilliant, but, you know, it speaks to me, and that's what matters really. And this here looks like a little heart between the paws, just purely accidental, but yes, and I've put the third eye in as well. And you probably won't see it in this light, but there is a sparkle to that paint. So that actually inspired me to be a little bit creative, to be curious, to see life the way I like to see it, actually. I do like to be curious. I do like to take note of my environment, very, very much so. So instead of avoiding this moon energy here with the High Priestess and Yesod, what I have been investigating doing is working with the moon. So I've got this book here, Tarot by the Moon by Victoria Constantina, and it's an actual month by month way of working with tarot. Spreads, we have spreads, and we also have little rituals and things. And I thought that would be really nice, you know, to do throughout next year. So I think I'm going to do that as a little project. And also I've got the Moonology Diary here, Yasmin Boland, Hay House. I got it really cheaply, actually. It was in the Black Friday sale when everything was half price. So I got it really, really cheaply. And I thought, well, I'll use this as sort of the journal part of it, to record what I'm doing and, yeah, maybe work through this book. So I'm really, really looking forward to doing that. That's my little project for next year. Anyway, let's have a look at the crystals. So for the High Priestess, we've got labradorite. And for Temperance, lepidolite. And for the Nine of Wands itself, azurite. Azurite is quite a powerful energy. And I'm going to read a little bit from the guidebook on these. I got these stones together and put them in a little pouch, and I've been carrying them around with me for the full 9 days, 10 days. So the Nine of Wands, or azurite, is a grace energy purifier if you're feeling stressed, stagnant or overwhelmed. It's like taking a deep breath and exhaling all the rubbish, I'm not going to say the word, but it begins with S and ends in T, all the rubbish you've had enough of. Azurite can bring that feeling of letting go, clearing all the pent-up angst and tension you've been holding on to, and allowing you to see with clearer vision from a new perspective. It's the pep talk you needed to just keep on keeping on. It can help the path ahead seem a little clearer and easier to navigate. So that, you know, it's going towards hope, because stars represent hope. So don't lose hope. Keep going. You're nearly there. And I really like that card. Michael Geiger, my Crystal Power, Crystal Healing book, which I really love, says of azurite that it reveals and dissolves imprints from the past, in particular those ideas and inner images that we have taken on unconsciously and believed to be true. Interestingly enough as well, on the spiritual perspective, he says that azurite represents a drive towards enlightenment, which I think is very clear in this card here. It awakens a hunger for our own experiences so that we are not satisfied with explanations given to us that we are unable to prove for ourselves. So I think azurite is a really, really good stone to actually work with, to meditate with, and to be with during those difficult times when we are looking at shadows that aren't easy, shall we say. So I'm going to put those cards there. In fact, so these for me are the helper cards to come through this time stronger. So that's my thoughts on the second decan of Sagittarius. I know it's a little bit different probably to what you expect, and it's just the way that I've been working with this personally, and one can only presume you'll work with it in a different way because we're all unique. I mean, my name is Sunique on purpose because I believe we are all unique, and therefore what resonates for me might not actually resonate for you, but this is my personal journey that I'm going on through this year, and I'm sharing it. And if it does resonate with you, is it something you're interested in, then follow along this year. It's proving to be very illuminating and I wish everybody all the best and a cool Yule, because we're nearly there. I've got my Yule log here which I've dressed, and I bring it out every year actually. I love this Yule log. But anyway, many blessings on your path and many blessings for me on my path, and until the next time, thank you for joining me. Thank you for being here. Bye.